Hey guys, thank you, Steve. I think it's already on. Cool. So thank you all Mediapost. Thank you, Steve, Kevin, Ryan, Maya, everybody who helped me here today. Before I really start, guys, I have 3 important messages. The first one's of course, is from my legal team. They love us. We are super partners. Of course, it's from my legal team. It just says that like the views and conclusions here in the presentation are on my own and not necessarily Burger King's. The second important message, it is, if we're working a holiday, kind of we are here, let's try to make it fun, right, at least. And the third one, and finally, good morning. Good morning, everybody here. All right, my name, it's Jorge, Oliveira, Jorge, I have been working with marketing all my career. I have had positions outside QSR, now at Burger King. I have had positions in different countries, like Brazil, some countries in Latin America, and I am in the US, in Miami. And as Steve said, I am the Media and Social Channels Director for Burger King US. And more on a personal note here, I have a lot of hobbies. As you guys can see, movie, music, guitar, soccer, skateboarding, surfing. And talk about surfing reminds me of 2019, right? We had a lot to do, like huge campaigns to launch. We had the Impossible Opera, I'll be talking about it. So we had a lot of like really huge mountains to climb, even higher than the Camelback here. And sometimes we would look back behind and we would see like this wave trying to really engulf us all. But really, we had like, I just brought some campaigns here 2019. We had almost like 3 campaigns per month, so it's a lot. We did a lot, yes, Jesus, yes. We did a lot, but it really paid off, right? So we had close to 40 billion impressions in internet media. It's like huge. We had a lot of fun. We have fun with the Impossible Opera. We had fun with Stranger Things. We had fun with, even on Twitter, trolling, making fun with our president, Trump. But really paid off. Like we broke our own records in terms of earned media impressions. We are really getting really spoiled. Like sometimes we make like a campaign doesn't reach 1 billion and we say, oh my God, this is, but it's still 700 million. So we're getting really spoiled here. And then that wave in the beginning really felt like this, just like pure joy when you ride your first wave. Or really felt like this, right? So I think Burger King last year in Cannes won as the most creative brand of the year, being ahead of Nike, IKEA. So we were all very excited here because like Fernando Machado, our CMO, he said, guys, we won't make it. I think we'll be second and third. And he knew. So when like they announced, we were like, oh my God, like we did it. So it was really, really amazing. But my job here with you guys is just to share a little bit what the teams in media and social channel at Burger King, they are helping the brand to really break through and being this brand who uses like creative as like a really competitive advantage. So to talk a lot about media, it's interesting because Steve was reading all these emails that came really from us. And they are sometimes controversy. I love the one that he read about like someone saying, I'm pulling back from digital and going traditional. And probably this makes sense, and I'll be talking about this a little bit. Like it's a lot going on, and not all the things that it's out there is for everybody. It depends like your strategy, what you're trying to achieve, right? So I'll be just playing a couple of like media headlines here. So we'll be a kind of awkward silence. I'll remain in silence, just for you guys to pay attention here, and then we're gonna discuss. Do you guys know this? So, so as I said, I love soccer and I love memes too. So this is Paul Pogba. This guy is amazing, right? It's like he's one of the best soccer players out there. This like actually happened in the World Cup final. And he was so excited. He didn't know he would go to the left, to the right, where to look at. And sometimes felt like media people, right? Like you're reading all these things, like GRPs are going to die. And then like the upfront dollars and networks, they are up. Digital is everything. And then you see like Facebook coming for more than $1 billion. So it really depends, right? Like I was talking about right now, like this brand that was saying, I'm pulling digital. Maybe it makes sense for him. I think like there are a lot of options out there. Everything is possible, but probably all the possibilities are not for all the brands. I think what it's important is to understand what is like have a clear diagnostics of your like media plan and to say what is the like the road, the path, the future path that I want to pursue for my brand, and then go chase the things that make sense, because I do believe that all the things out there, like if you're trying to pursue all of them, you're going to be just like spinning at the same place. So I think for Burger King, the main headline was that almost like 1/3 of the viewership was vanished in 2 years, right? I think Burger King, as the other major QSRs, they are all heavily invested on linear TV. And to read something like this, it's painful, right? So in fact, we did an analysis that we did a correlation between the effectiveness of the GRPs to drive sales, lift sales. And we found out that actually the GRPs are becoming less and less effective. In fact, like minus 35% versus like 6 or 7 years ago. So it's just borderline of this conversation that the dollars on TV are working less and less for you. I think in the past, you would go like super strong and bold on TV and then probably would do the kind of almost do the job for you, but it's not the case anymore. One of the reasons, as we know, like we are seeing OTT growing a lot. And one of the reasons is that like we did this analysis back in the time here for This Is Us. One of the reasons is because for certain shows, time, it's not that relevant anymore, right? So we are living in the world that it's the now. We are living in the world of the on-demand. It's not anymore networks telling us what to watch and when and where to watch, but the consumers saying about convenience, like saying, I want to watch on that platform on the time that I can and the time that I am available to watch. And this is not like going on media, right? Like think about Amazon. So Amazon Prime, like, wow, oh my God, they can deliver anything you want in 1 day, in the same day or in 2 days. It's not anymore. They can deliver now in 1 hour, 2 hours, right? So we see here that the vast majority of people were not watching This Is Us in this case live, and they were watching on different platforms. And we know, like, these OTT partners, they are on the rise, like, serious, like, growth here, like, double-digit growth. And who's leading the pack? It is the viewership, right? It's the younger demo. There is, like, a huge difference here in terms of demo, broadcast, cable, and online video, almost like 20 years of difference. For legacy brands as Burger King, this is huge, right? Because I think all the legacy brands, they were trying to connect more with the younger audience, and this goes beyond QSR. The other day we were having the CMO from ABI, Anheuser-Busch, like at our office. He was like saying the same, like they have the same dilemma. So it is like an issue or a challenge for all the legacy brands out there. But in the moment, do I go left, do I go right, what do I do? At the same time, we see that cable, like the majority of people they are pairing OTT subscription with cable. So cable is not like dead right now, right? I think I was having lunch the same like with like a major executive the other day with a network, and he was telling me that he expects this year and upfront to be talking like for us to be listening more and more about advanced TV and addressable. So they are reinventing themselves in this space. It's like they will retransform a lot yet to happen. So the King has been working a lot of like fronts here, but I separated you really quick. That'll be touching base really quick with you guys. Of course, then it's reach. And then attribution, I think we want to change this game on TV that, like, I have a joke internally that sometimes looks like you put on TV, you know, you buy based on impressions and CPM, and then you go, you light up a candle, and you pray to see if someone will watch and, you know, like, go out the couch and go to the store. We are getting fancier that, like, this joke, it's less and less at Burger King now. At the beginning was. But we want to change the game, right? We want to be able to transact TV the same way we transact digital based on direct response, based on behavior. And now I have just one slide. I'll be showing like an actual case that we did with like a media partner. But to talk about reach, like we have been adjusting for a massive brand like Burger King. For us, it is more important to have more reach than GRP. So for us, no kind of problem on that. Like we are aiming reach here. And yes, we have been doing transitioning from like cable networks to do like more OTT and digital partners as well. And here, like, let me show you like a couple. This is like an actual campaign that we did. So it is like actual results that we did with OTT. In our case, the goal was really simple. We really want to understand how much incrementality we would come from these partners over linear, right? Since like the viewership in linear is going down. And we found here in this case like was 4%. So 4% of the exposure were coming from this case like Roku alone over linear. So it's quite a lot. And one of the reasons this is happening and why it's still like so incremental, if you see here in this case, like among all Roku users, 83% only saw the campaign, the spots on Roku. That's why it shows the incrementality like to be so high. On the same note, same campaign, but now like an example from Hulu. On the left, it is the visitation rate, so exposure versus control. We do see the exposure group like outperforming the control. And it's really interesting because it starts at the same point. So I felt this kind of, you know, like makes sense, and then like declines, and they find themselves like in the last day. And also think that it's like that we have been learning more and more. It's about like frequency and how frequency, there's like a clear linear correlation between more exposure to the same person, more the rate of visitor rate. So one of the things that we did also was like, I was kind of concerned to have like, okay, then we do this and how we measure. I don't want to be dependent of the partners to give us like information. I want to put, like Steve was talking about like methodology, right? Like I want to put everybody under the same methodology and see and be able to compare here. So one example, I think there are many out there, but we did a partnership with like iSpot, who tell us like the viewership by partner and how much is aggregating over linear. And as a result, all of that, so doing this transition of like less linear to more OTT and more digital, I think I see some partners are here, and we have been doing more business with you guys, I think, each year. Although our impression is less than the previous year, like we are good, right? Because we are in the highest level of reach. And definitely if we had sticky here to TV, the numbers would be definitely down. So we are happy with the transition we are doing, the shifts that we're doing, because like the reach is the thing that it has to go up, and it is going. So one slide based like on business guarantees, and I was making the joke about like light up a cannon, etc. But like we really want to change the game here in terms of how we do business, especially with change from CPM to really what business would be a business guarantee for this industry. Could be like a store visit or could be like a sales lift. So this is like a real example that it's live. Don't ask me the results. I have, but I can't tell. But just to give you like an insight what we did. So we were approached by a media company. The inventory was around like 3 times our like CPM on TV. And we did a deal based like you guys have to deliver 3 or more times in terms of store visits. And if not, you make up the difference of impressions. So it's a deal for us that it's the kind of deal that we want to do because push us to be more on the attribution side, push us to be transact on TV based on ROI and based what matters, which is like in our case, store visit or sales lift. So when like sometimes like the media person looks like a maestro of a symphony. He's not the guy playing, but he's the guy giving, like giving the tones and giving the directions, showing like where to have emphasis and where to have not. And when that's like how sometimes like we feel, but then because it's the things that we do, sometimes you do not clear see. It's not like a video, it's not an award that you want. But I think when you have like a launch like this, and you have like a thing that's like amazing for us, which was like impossible, and you have a thing that you really can break through, having like a stronger media plan can do this kind of results. So I'll be playing a video here about the Impossible Whopper.
On the wall, don't say it 'cause I know I'm cute, baby. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine.
The Impossible Whopper. 100% Whopper, 0% beef.
Meatless Whoppers.
Impossible Whopper.
The Impossible Burger.
It's true, although it is impossible.
Everybody's talking about these Impossible
Meatless
Whoppers.
Whopper.
This is a big deal. This is not an April Fool's joke.
First bite, I would know the difference between beef and whatever else you have.
Tastes like a Whopper.
Tastes like Whopper.
Tasted just like a Whopper should taste.
Time to put it in the troops. Gotta blame it on my juice.
My first impossible situation ever in lights.
You're f***ing kidding.
Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. It ain't my fault that I'm not here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on. I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.
What's up, man?
Going in. This is legit.
So good. Just crushed my burger.
That smells so good.
Plant-based revolution going on right now.
So the Impossible was really cool. I think it was the kind of, at the same time, was the thing that we looked behind and said, like, Jesus, this is a lot, and how are we going to make it? And we did it, and like, it was great. To touch base a little bit on social channel, and like I was reading, like Steve was mentioning, like Brain's thing, like how we, how we break through this. It is like a super like clear environment, and it is. I'll be showing like a couple of slides here. But we are, I think Burger King does great like on the social channels, and it definitely has been helping us in terms of reach as well. But the reason why it's so hard like to break through is like one of the reasons like we scroll every day like a 13-story building of content. So can you imagine like someone scrolling like non-stop in the middle of the feed pops up an ad, like how much like how much value it is on that, like how much you can like stand out in the middle of like all this content, and on top like 10,000 of those messages are brand messages. So it's really hard to stand out. But I think we know like millennials prefer brands with purpose and attitude, and I think this is like perfect for Burger King, which is a brand like it's a bold brand, it is challenger. I think on the social channels we really go, I have a video you guys are gonna see, like we really go crazy, really wild sometimes, which is cool, but I think more than be cool, it is like necessary. I think I always talk to my team like, guys, to be vanilla common here, to do these posts, like it's really a waste of time. I think or you go big or bold or go home, like in that sense. Like millennials, they prefer brands with an attitude, even if they don't agree. Just the fact that you have an stance, like they admire because like you're a company with a voice. And I personally love social channel because I think it's where the space the brand can come alive. I think it's where the king real becomes like a majesty, and he has a voice, he has like his own personality, he has like a behavior. So I think that is perfect. I think like TV, other traditional media, it's like more passive, like you are forcing a message over someone. Here it's different, right? Like you are pushing a message, but like they are all the audience, like they can reply to you, they can say they agree, they don't disagree, they can put meme back to you, trying to backlash. So that is natural and that is good. right? Like show that the brain is part of like a topical moment, part of the culture, part of the society. So we really love social channels. We have a lot of fun here, and we are having great results. So I think I have a video as well. I do. So let me show this video, like a couple of recap that we're doing on social channels as well.
There's no middle ground at Burger King. I mean, I'd never seen such steamy chicken nuggets before. That's compelling advertising right there.
Let's party.
Burger King asked Wendy's to the prom.
What? Yeah. Oh, and guess what? She said yes.
That is genius. Is it actually
not?
really? I mean, we're talking about it.
IHOP? No!
Burger King changed their name to Pancake King.
Sorry, old Burger King can't come to the fore.
Burger King made fun of the president. Burger King! They put out a tweet making fun of Trump for misspelling hamburgers on Twitter.
Burger King tweeted, due to a large order placed yesterday, we're all out of hamburgers. We're all out of hamburgers.
That is classic. President's tweet has now been deleted and retweeted with the spelling error corrected.
Burger King went through my old tweets and they liked 3 from 2010. And I tweeted, why is Burger King liking my 8-year-old tweets? The reason behind the move, Burger King is bringing back funnel cake fries. The thing that upsets me the most about all this is it's just how genius it was. You win, Burger King.
Burger King's introducing real meals, aiming to raise awareness about mental health.
Not everybody wakes up happy.
Take your opinions and suck it, world.
Very edgy.
These guys got senses of humor.
Go hard or go home.
Burger King's social media manager should be the new president of the United States.
Burger King!
Whoa!
So really cool. Can you guys imagine like what happened when we saw Trump had misspell the hamburgers? Can you imagine like what happened in we have a group of our agency, it's like everybody connected. Then suddenly, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was like working, then like non-stop messages. Then we do not do, talk to this guy, talk to Fernando, we do, like was really crazy. And then we did it, and then the results were here. I think also won silver, was like in PR, silver PR in Cannes last year as well. And talk about Cannes really quick. I think I have, yeah. Who know this case? Who has seen? I would say kind of half. Okay, cool. So let me explain really quick and the reason why I brought here. I think this case won Titanic Grand Prix last year in Cannes. And the reason why I kind of brought here, it is because like who wins the Titanic Grand Prix? They like this category was born because like when you cannot say this is like a film or digital or PR, goes to Titanic Grand Prix and kind of defines like where the advertising as a whole like it's going like and what's going to shape the future of the advertising. So I brought here like yeah it was huge on social, but it's a social case. No, not really. There is a film here. It's a film, not really. So there are a lot of things here that at the same time there is a lot here. It is PR, it is app, but at the same time it's not. But it's really cool. The business that we did like behind was like to launch our app, and I think score big time like in Cannes and other like D&D other awards as well. So I'll play here, and that will be my last slide video. Thank you so much for listening to me, and take a look.
Burger King wants you to come here. Yes to McDonald's.
Burger King is trolling its fast food rival
with a promotion available through the Burger King mobile app.
Yeah, but there is a small catch.
So I saw this Burger King commercial where you could
Get a Whopper for
a penny. Only if you open the app while you're at McDonald's.
That doesn't even make sense. You have to go to McDonald's for a Whopper?
Whopper? Use Burger King's BK app, then be within 600 feet of a McDonald's restaurant.
Burger King geofenced over 14,000
McDonald's restaurants in the U.S.
Unbelievable.
So I've parked my news car about 100 feet from a McDonald's.
I'm at McDonald's getting a coupon for Burger King. I almost feel like I'm stealing.
Let's go for the unlock.
Yes!
You unlocked the Whopper detour.
This is a really cool promo, guys. How fun is this?
That's crazy.
Nice.
That's so horrible.
That's funny.
This is an amazing use of technology to get consumers out of a rival store and into your own store.
Can you do a Whopper Jr.?
They probably could make that. It wouldn't be as good as Burger King would, to be honest with you. Okay, where's the Burger King?
Like 4 blocks to your left.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jorge. We have some time for questions of Jorge, and throughout the next 3 days, if you have a question, please stand, let us know who you are and who you're with so we can get to meet you. Questions?
All good.
I have a couple of media wonk questions.
So let's see
Since you mentioned frequency and on Roku, it looked to me from the chart, if I was reading it right, that what others complain about OTT, which is insane and often non-existent frequency caps, is actually not as big a problem for you. Where is diminishing returns when it comes to frequency on OTT?
That's a very good question. I think we have seen that was kind of surprised to be 7+, like the conversion rate at 12%. But at the same time, when I correlate to that frequency to linear, right? Like if you do like a weekly cut, that would be slightly below what we have on weekly on linear. So it kind of makes sense. So I think the way we are approaching here is like, I think OTT for us is like a frontier. If you ask like, do you invest more? Do you stop to invest less? I think it's like invest more. So based on what I know, like at least for Burger King, there's still like space to grow. So in that stage that we are, I'm not that concerned, to be honest, with you, because I am more concerned the over frequency that we have on linear. So what we have been doing is pretty much like shave this frequency that we have over frequency that we have on linear to be able to reinvest in other frontiers like OTT and digital. So I'm not, to be honest, I'm like right now I'm not that concerned yet.
My other question is about the impact of PR and viral hits on your media plan. Later, we're lucky in this event to hear from two of the biggest QSR viral hits of the last year, the Impossible Burger, and also Lisa from Popeyes will be here later, later this week to talk about the chicken sandwich phenom. But I'm curious about when this happens, how are you calibrating PR hits, news hits, viral with your media plan? How does it impact it? As this thing blows up often in unpredictable ways, how does it change your media plan?
That's a very good question. I think, to be honest, like when sometimes like we present like the Whopper detour and people think, like, you guys invested millions and millions behind the media plan, and it's like, if I tell you the number that I can't, well, like you guys would say like, no, you are bullshitting me. So I think the reason why is that we felt that we had an idea that it was like so strong. Then we said, let's take these $1 million that instead of we go bold and place awareness, let this piece be handled by the PR because it will, we knew. And let's use the dollars that we had to do like a very effective media. So the dollars that we put actually was like they were like smart media dollars, like all these geolocations, all the things, that was like where the dollars went, and not to do the boom, to do the splash. I think what we do we try to balance this out. Like we have to remember that like Burger King, it's like a huge brand, right? But we don't have the biggest like ad spend out there, so we have to be very smart. And what we do, it's like we measure every single campaign that we have on hand. And luckily we have like amazing like PR agency and team, and we measure with them like, is this the kind of idea that we have to push with dollars more or less? And luckily sometimes we don't have to put dollars behind, and we can do to take these dollars and invest like in like geolocation, like being like buying like smart media, as we did for Detour. So it really depends.
So the geolocated media buy was actually pretty effective. You were pushing it.
That's
it was helping to push the app very effectively even without the PR.
There is no like operative tool. If I remember, there was no partner like awareness partner on the media buy, I believe. Not even like to put the video on YouTube. I don't even recall if we did that. We paid, but the vast majority of the media dollars behind the tool was to geolocation, was to find specific people who would be engaged to go out there and participate.
Jorge, thank you so much for getting us off the